Alright, so we're going to talk about something a little bit different than the norm, for me at least today. I got a couple vinyl figures at a convention recently here in Tampa, MetroCon, if any of you guys have been there. They got a pretty decent sized vendor room, but a friend of mine tipped me off that one of the vinyl vendors there was getting in a couple boxes of the new Loyal Subjects Transformers figures, and there's that box right there. And I hadn't really kept up with him too much. I know he'd mentioned him to me before, but uh, until I kind of got these in hand, I didn't realize what I was looking at. And they're actually pretty cool. They came, of course, all blind boxed, so you have no idea who you're getting, all the different variations and what have you on the sides here. And there are some mystery characters as well. As to what those mystery figures are, I don't recall. I think there's a Bumblebee with a different style print, or maybe it was Jazz, and I think the other one is an Optimus Prime repaint. But that's, whatever. The chances of getting those are pretty slim, so the ones I did get, though, I was pretty excited about. Grimlock was the first one that I opened. This is really the one that I was wanting the most out of the whole set, and of course, luckily enough, I opened him up, and that was the first one I got. And I was kind of surprised with what comes in the boxes. Again, I didn't really know much about these. My buddy was super excited, so he kind of got me into buying them, so of course I did, seeing as they're Transformers. But the Grimlock's pretty neat. He comes with some of the accessories that came with the original toy back in the... I think the Grimlock I have is a G2, so I know he at least comes with the blaster and the sword. So those are in there for sure. And they're pretty cool. They're vinyl just like the figures themselves. The only complaints I really have with all the figures across the board, I don't know if it's the way that the hands are molded or what, but it's not very easy to get these weapons into their hands. You can see I've got the gun way up. It just doesn't fit in there all that well. I feel like I could really push it, or I could put it under some warm water or something and kind of let it get a little softer before I pushed it in there, but I don't want to risk messing up the figure, so he'll hold it like it is for now. But of course, they come just like you see them right here. They're pretty nice. Now, one thing that surprised me on these guys, there are some random paint details on here that are pretty neat. Good friend of mine that was there with us as well got Soundwave. Soundwave looks beautiful. I would have loved to get him, but I'm not going to spend another $10 just for a chance. So, basically, the paint on this thing is beautiful. Gold paint for the chest, just like the old Grimlock we remember. He's got the red painted eyes, which I believe is the same as the Japanese version. I think that the American version actually had a different color paint. I'd have to look at my figures to remember, but they're actually kind of more articulate than I expected. I don't buy a lot of vinyl figures, so maybe this is something that just is normal and I'm not used to it, but of course they actually have a head swivel. And the body rotates independently, of course, as do the legs. So, like, with that, I mean, that's kind of a neat pose for a little vinyl figure. So I was kind of surprised. Again, I did not know much about these. Picked them up on a whim. My buddy swore up and down by them. He kept going back to the same booth probably 20, 30 times within the 2 days waiting for these guys to show up. So they brought the whole case in, and, of course, we had first dibs. But that's Grimlock, so... very awesome. And people texting me while I review, so that's always great. Now the other one here, we got Megatron. Now Megatron comes with everything you expect him to come with. Of course, he's got his blaster here. Same level of articulation as Grimlock, so the head and the body. And the same level of really nice paint detailing that you've got here on the chest, same as Grimlock. I don't know how well you can see. The light's kind of in the wrong spot. But you can see that he's got like all kinds of little like just diodes and stuff painted onto his chest. Very cool detail, very crisp lines, very slick looking figures. The faces are painted perfectly. Of the 9 vinyls that we bought, I don't really remember seeing any paint defects on any of them. Nothing that would like really make me swear the line off. I'm pretty impressed. I don't know, I have to confess, I don't know much about the company, about the Loyal Subjects line. These are the first I've gotten. But I will be keeping an eye out for them, because these figures are phenomenal. Now, Bumblebee is an old favorite of mine. Back in the day, in the older television series, Bumblebee was one of my favorite. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but very cool character. Can't stand what they've done with him in the newer movies. I don't know when he became a mute, but irregardless, this is about the vinyl figures. So the vinyl, actually, again, like the others, very cool. Crisp, really crisp, really nice paint. The yellow just pops on this figure. It looks phenomenal. The paint, there's like a detail on the chest. I don't know, I guess that's supposed to be like the glass on the front of him. And that's just like a, like the light deflecting off. I don't know. It looks very cool. He's got his little blaster and everything. Of course, I don't put it that far into the hand, of course, but it looks neat when it's just standing there holding it. But yeah, these guys, just a quick review on these again. That's the Transformers Loyal Subjects. This was Series 1, so I hope that means there's going to be more series. I'd love to get a hold of some more of these guys. Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Jazz, and Grimlock. Megatron, Soundwave, Starscream, and Thundercracker are the ones that came in Series 1. Luckily I got to see everything out of the series. They all looked awesome. I'll have to see if I can get a hold of my buddy Starscream. But this figure, it's really cool. It's really nice. I can't remember if it came with the null rays. I don't think it did. But they come with this whole separate wing piece that fits onto the back, which of course none of the other figures have unless they're one of the Seekers. But they look awesome. Very cool. I believe Soundwave comes with his, I don't know what the weapon is called, but it's basically, you know, one of the batteries that's on his back that extends out and has that protrusion. I believe he came with that. Jazz, I don't remember what he came with. I think he just came with a standard blaster. And we actually didn't get any Optimus Primes out of there. I don't think we had a single one. So we got most of the figures out of the set. I would have loved to get that Soundwave. But again, I digress. I spent $30 on these. I think that's enough at this point. But I'm looking forward to Series 2. So hoping to see what they're going to come out with there. There's a whole bunch of info on the back of these for like the Loyal Subjects info. I guess they've got a website and a Facebook and an Instagram, which is kind of interesting they post that on there, but whatever. Maybe I'll check them out and see what they say about a Series 2. Now, a little cool thing that came in the packaging on these. They come with the old sort of info cards, or at least something that's similar to that. So you've got Grimlock, it gives you his information, function as a Dinobot commander, a little quote, and then kind of a throwback to the old toys, you've got the information grid here that has all the different stats. Doesn't come with the reader though. If I remember right, I believe you had to use, or you had a little tool you could read these things with because it's painted real faintly, so you're supposed to use like it's like half of the 3D glasses, like the red plastic, and look through it, and you can see that line that's drawn up on there. So just a cool little toss-in. That, of course, comes with each of the characters. So with Grimlock, I got Grimlock, Megatron, and Bumblebee. Anyways, that's just another quick Oz figure reviews. I'm going to do a couple more ASAP and get them all posted up. I know I've kind of been lax, but I've been going through a couple changes with work and some other things and some promotions here and there, so I haven't had much time for figures, but I've definitely been buying them. So I'm going to do my best to try and get some more video reviews up here as soon as I can for some of the other cool stuff I picked up at cons and some of the stuff I pre-ordered online and received recently. Alright guys, I'll talk to y'all soon.